CRO titles are creating less bias today between sales and marketing and really help create more, harmony, so that those two departments aren't working in silos?
So it's interesting. I have seen it work really well. This concept of a revenue organization or go-to-market organization, because I would argue they should potentially even have like churn, customer success, those kinds of things that can often fall into product or a separate group there. But the issue is where they come from and their kind of their point of view as they go through that. Because I've seen a lot of CROs in my consulting, working with clients, and in my own journey where they were just a glorified sales VP. And they're sales and they happen to get marketing. Marketing just does whatever sales asks them to, is kind of what it means. That's kind of camp one. I've also seen some amazing CROs and worked with some that truly look holistically, not just on that motion there. So I think it's not a one size fits all answer there where it's the concept is right, but the problem is what's the point of view of the person coming in? If they're truly a revenue officer, it's going to be about, reducing churn, customer expansion, in addition to growing the brand. And rarely will you hear a CRO talk about the brand and all that motion and all the great stuff we hear from companies like Six Sense and that stuff of, building that pipeline. And so it really depends on their point of view. So I've seen it be disastrous when marketing reports into it, does nothing but just create friction, and you're basically you say yes to whatever sales is asking for. There's not really a marketing strategy. And I've seen it at the other end of the spectrum where they truly are go to market, one team go to market, one revenue minded. So it really depends on that leader.
I also think it depends on the brand maybe and where they are in their life cycle. You know, I
Yeah.
I could see, although, well, I'll say what I'm going to say and then we can go from there. I could see very, very early stage companies really having to determine, first and foremost, sales is key. And then how do we back in revenue? Or I'm sorry, how do we back in marketing or vice versa? It doesn't matter, when it's that early stage and then ultimately growing to need rev ops. And the flip side of that is if you just go for rev ops out of the chute, you're going to be that much further along when it comes to ultimately developing a sustainable business model that can be very, very successful. It's very interesting to take a look at some of the very, very large brands that have deployed big RevOps programs: Coca-Cola, Starbucks, Netflix, Delta, Chipotle, Uber, REI, the New York Shipping Exchange, these very,
Yep.
very large enterprise companies that now, rely on RevOps modalities and methodologies to make sure that they're achieving top line and bottom line growth.